Welcome viewers from across Australia and around the world. My name's Matt Gale and joining me this afternoon is Tim Pillion on the mic. Will Laws on the camera. Welcome everyone to this round 9 clash between Old Ignatians 10th on the ladder versus Brighton 7th on the ladder at the Rolton Oval. Picturesque Rolton. Today's coaches, Darryl Spencer leading the way for Old Iggies and McGarry medalist Brett Backwell, who in fact played in the C grade this afternoon for the Brighton Bombers. At the helm there at Brighton Bombers. So we'll go to our game day sponsor. Today's game brought to you by Programs to Fit.
Thanks, Matt. Programs to Fit, of course, our own Tony Neal, deliver a fantastic range of team development, teamwork and team performance-based workshops for leagues, clubs, teams and individuals at all levels. They cater for males, females, seniors, juniors, have the ability to tailor programs to suit needs, budget and timelines of your organisation.
Excellent, Tim. Big thanks to our broadcast partners, Filming Footy and Sports Interactive. Conditions are very wintry out there this afternoon. The cricket pitch is held up very well. It's actually quite sticky. It's got that tar feel about it. No mud to be speaking of throughout the ground. It's in superb nick. The current temperature is 12.9 degrees with an expected top of 15. It is actually quite windy and we suspect that the wind will go from one light tower from the half forward flank of the left hand side of your screen to the forward pocket in the right, and that is blowing about 28 knots at the moment. There is a chance for showers. No rain since 9 a.m. this morning. There's a forecast for 1 to 5 mils. We think there might be a bit of there has been team scoring the Magoos at both ends of the ground, but there's probably a 2 to 3 goal advantage to the right hand side of your dial or your screen this afternoon. B grade, huge result. Went right down the wire, exhilarating finish with Old Iggies having a shot with 30 seconds remaining. Unfortunately straight across the face of goals. Old Ignatians 10-9, 69 were defeated by Brighton 11-6, 72. So 3-point margin and a nail biter in the Magoos. Timmy Pillion, let's read out some of our sponsors for this afternoon.
Our game day sponsors are of course Adelaide Football League. We've got Buddy Bet, which we'll have a couple of bets in a moment. Gamble responsibly. Our scoreboard today is by Sportal, and always the stats by Dartfish, stats and beanie by Dartfish.
If you haven't got yourself a Dartfish beanie, they're absolutely magnificent. Farmers Leap, so a big sponsor of ours. They are the Coach of the Week award sponsors. The winner of that weekly award receives 2 random shot 2020 bottles of wine. One's a Shiraz and one's a Cab Sav. Absolutely delightful they are, and I wouldn't mind purchasing one on the way home. Roll the dice for the Media Award Player of the Year. He gets a 5% share in a horse valued at a minimum of 7.5 cackle, and that horse is currently in training. Archie's Thongs. If you haven't got yourself a pair, please do so. It's like getting a massage while you're walking your feet. And the Banner Crew, new sponsor, so welcome on board. Also to Thirsty Camel for the goal of the week and the Bianco mark of the week as well. So big clash coming up. 10th on the ladder in Old Iggies taking on 7th in Brighton. Let's go to our buddy bets right now. Please gamble responsibly. Timmy Pillion, what you got for us?
I'm going to take it really easy and say the first goal, even before the toss is made, will be scored at the right hand side, northern side of the ground.
It's probably paying about $1.22, so Timmy's going to put his $5 where his mouth is. I think you're right there. I'm actually going to go with Brighton over 39.5 points. This particular margin will probably be dictated by the weather conditions, which may result in some rain this afternoon, but definitely the windy conditions will play a factor as well. Let's move along to some of our players and some of the things we're looking forward to this afternoon. We'll let Timmy Pillion let us know what all his thoughts on Old Iggies.
Yeah, I was at Old Iggies game last week against Broadview, where they were defeated, but the moral of the story is they lost the game in the first quarter. Broadview came out and kicked the first 5 goals quarter time to Old Ignatians 0, but after that it was 7 goals apiece for the second, third and fourth quarter. So my observations for that were quite simply that it was raining, it was slippery, and Old Nations were very, very fumbly in the first quarter and managed to get their act together in the second, third and fourth. They were very, very, I thought, a little bit negative with regards to their setup behind the ball. They did some tagging of key players, and then after that they started playing their own brand and got the ball and took the game on. I thought Iggy's won the rucks last week. They actually broke even in the centre clearances. It was purely a breakdown up forward, or going the other way around. Broadview's defence basically held on and won the day for them. But I think they will take some great solace out of their last 3 quarters from last week, and I'm expecting a good showing from them today.
Yeah, I've seen Old Iggy's on their home deck before against Sacred Heart, and they played a really good first quarter and fell away throughout. So it was interesting to hear that. It's good that they've run out a game last week. Move along to the Brighton Bombers. They were superb last week, beating the highly fancied Tea Tree Gully at home. Tea Tree Gully trying to hold their spot in the 5, and Brighton has come alive. And anyone that was at the Brighton Oval last week, it absolutely erupted with a cliff-hanging finish. Thomas Wellesby was goalless last week, and he's been goalless in his last 2 outings. He's got 15 for the season. I suspect he'll get on the end of some of them this week, as they're about to toss the coin for today's clash. Nigel Osborne in there, as well as James Kennedy for Old Iggy's. And it looks like it's got stuck on the mud. They're going to have to throw it again. The cricket pitch is playing all sorts of dramas. And they'll retoss. No. Have they done rock, paper, scissors?
That was pointed.
No one's wrong. And James Kennedy points will go to the northern end, and Brighton will head to the southern end. So moving back to the Brighton lineup, Nigel Osborne was sensational last week, an absolute accumulator of the pill in the engine room. Jared Miller with 2 goals. He was superb up forward. Aaron Warner was very dangerous with his left foot off that half-forward flank, and Jared Miller finished with 2 as well. Jake Tarker was the best on ground last week with 4 goals in his first game for the club, so a former Geelong player. He's highly sought after at the moment, and he's just landed in a lapse of the Brighton Bombers. Justin Evans was also great last week, 4th best, and Dylan Draper, who's actually quite good, and honest ruckman, is capable of bobbing up and kicking a goal. Dwayne McGarry goes out of the side. Unfortunately, the Brickhouse from Brighton, and Ty Murphy's been superb and consistent off his half-back flank. So laid out is Dwayne McGarry, and coming into the lineup for the Brighton Bombers, and this is a twist in itself for these hyphen names, William Cheeseman Button. So I know that Old Iggy's has Sam Boots out for the remainder of the year, I think with a wrist injury. He's the heart and soul of their engine room, so they'll certainly miss him. But Brighton, on the other hand, Otis Carthy, their captain, who was best in 5 out of their first 7 games, he's also out, as well as McGarry. So an exciting game coming up. Timmy Pillion, any final thoughts before we get this game underway?
Only that you gave the last minute change. Old Iggy's are completely the same as last week, unchanged, which would be quite rare, I think, in these days with amateur league football, that you can get the same side on the park 2 weeks in a row, which is another reason I think they'll put up a stronger showing this week.
I think you did the right thing and asked the team manager. I did ask Daryl Schitzel here when we did their last game against PAC, and there was actually 2 changes that he did make me aware of, so he always go through the team manager. I think this game's going to be one in the engine room. I think if Brighton get on top early, it could be damage control in the second half, but Old Iggy's, they'll be looking to put their best foot forward after a strong outing, particularly in the last 3 quarters of last week. It's an interesting start there. O'Loughlin's gone into the middle, normally starts on the half-forward flank. And Evans has been a powerhouse in that midfield. He'll go in there with Draper and also Osborne. So Will Ferrari, the Port Adelaide Magpies top-up player, starting in the middle there alongside Osborne. Alfred in the ruck. And there's something wrong here with the umpires. Yeah, just waiting for Darryl Spencer to give the all-clear right to pay. And the central umpire will remain return to the centre field. I'll tell you what, you wouldn't want to be anywhere else this afternoon if you're playing, because the current Rolton is probably held up as good as any oval in South Australia, besides the obvious AFL ground, which is Adelaide Oval. Only a hop, skip and a jump from here.
I'm still waiting for something. I'm looking at the bench to see if there's...
Not quite sure.
We're away.
No, we're right. So I'm siren about to start. First bounce to get underway. It'll be Draper up against Alfred. And none avoid in the first tap. Good work there by Draper at round level. Evans' hand passes out towards Illingsworth. He was busy last week. Drives the ball to half-forward flank looking for Miller. And the ball will spill out of play. And with the last disposal out of bounds, it's a good advantage for teams that are with their backs against the wall, but it also fastens the play up as well. So Old Iggies have got to switch on if they want to go there. They quite often do. They go straight down the line looking for a tall target. No mark taken. Umpire calls play on. Still stuck on that far side. Plenty of boys around the ball there. The umpire's called holding the ball, which is quite consistent in this Adelaide Footy League Division 1, where they don't like players sitting top regardless of opportunity. So ball will be driven into the, goes towards Warner, pulls out of the contest, almost lands on a lap of Wellesby. Wellesby turns around and he's snapped his first for 3 weeks. And Timmy Pillion's on the board with the buddy bet gambling responsibly, with that goal going to the right hand side of the screen. And that's a huge confident booster there for Thomas Wellesby, who adds his 16th goal for the season. Tim Pillion.
Well, a long kicking from the half-forward flank there. A couple of the Iggy's players ran under the ball and it carried over the back, hit Wellesby straight in the stomach, managed to gather it on one bounce and snap truly. There'll be something we'll have to watch. The ball is holding up into the wind, so play in front, and the ball has got over the back a few times, so let's see who adjusts to that better. Ball back into the centre. Alfred last week got his hand on the ball many times and tended to hit the ball backwards, and as you see the centre set up right now, there is no one to the hospital side behind the ruckman. Wellesby, yep, Alfred wins the tap down, picked up in the centre. Hamble takes a slap across the box. Umpire's played advantage. Ricky O'Loughlin passes the ball beautifully in the pocket, dropped. Scramble on the play. Taps it out. Tucks on a nil there, umpire calls. Really good play out of the centre there, but an interesting setup, as we said there. Everyone was man on man to the right end of the screen, no one on that side. The tap went that way. Umpire balls it up. Big smash there by the ruckman from Old Iggy's. Tackle, there's a sling tackle for you. Umpire, keep that out of the game. Old Iggy's centre half back. This is the kick. Do they bring it out wide? Stabs the ball. Looks, cut off by Nigel Osborne. Kicks the ball, centering pass, back into the centre. Spoil. Rush through for a point.
Okay, so Tarker tried to get his hands on the ball there. It was a nice centering kick there from Osborne, but no one really home to speak of with Wellesby out of the action. So play on for full back is Kennedy. Kennedy comes out to our broadcast side. A few higher leapers there, but ball comes to ground. Comes to that man Osborne again. Tries to get his hand pass away. Stuck on the boundary line. Fortuitous kick, not 15. Play on, says the umpire. And lands on the last line of the fence there for Old Iggy. So they're holding up well in defence thus far. Tries to get his kick out to a 2-on-1. Interesting decision if that's the case. Ball comes out towards Evans. Just needs to pick it up. He's got some support. Ball comes to ground. And I think there is a free kick, and there should have been to Old Iggy's there with a holding on decision. So right half back on that far side, and the player jumps the fence, which is customary in Adelaide Footy League to go and get yourself the pill. I'll still get the fright of my life driving through, and he's kicked it to the other side of the picket fence. And the recipient of the free kick's got to get the ball himself. So comical sequence of errors there without even getting a possession away. They look to do the switch. They've got a player on in the pocket. It's Kennedy. Needs to get the kick right. Doesn't. Warner, he's pressing here. He's pressing hard. Well done by Kennedy to hold it up. He's under enormous amount of duress, as is McCarthy. And we'll have a ball up. And they could have squandered a goal there. Thankfully held up there, Old Iggy's. Look out for Warner. Second man up. Comes out towards Kennedy. Gets it on his boot straight away. No conviction with his kick, just try to thump it out as far as he could. Comes out towards Wellesby, can't pick up the bill. Strong tackling by Wellesby, ball comes to ground. They've got a few players behind the ball here, Old Iggy's, but no one to really look forward as they go up the field. Ball comes back towards Bastion. Bastion switches the play and finds Ty Murphy. So probably the best player to have it in his hands at the moment. Goes to Siggles short, so true centre half forward. 1.5 kicks from home here. Sigel puts it on his boot, not his best kick, comes towards Warner. Ball comes out the back, no mark taken. Could have been a high free kick there, not paid. Ball play on there, says the umpire, and they get a clearing kick. Could go down the throat of Draper, no mark taken. It's got some players in support. Goes to O'Loughlin, and O'Loughlin does a bit of a dance, but takes the ball out of play.
Out of bounds right in front of the scoreboard here. Oval. Once again, that long kick in from Brighton got over the back. Iggy's boys are jumping early and not taking it. Down to throw in. Tap forward. Iggy's player taps it forward, out of bounds again. Defensive mindset there. At one stage there, the entire ground was up in the forward half of Brighton. The press, as they call it. Thrown in. Man in front. Taps it down. O'Loughlin gets his kick away. Smothered. Iggy's player away fast. Well done. Good hands. Kick down the line. Oh, got over the top. Good dump out. Kick again. Round the corner. Brighton player into the hands. Oh, dropped it. Iggy's player managed to recover. Looks. Didn't fire away. Not much to aim for, as we said. James Sigel kicks it wide. Two players. Oh, he's given it. Hanging on too soon. Just felt for the body too soon there as the ball got over the back. Here the player streamed to the right hand side. Iggy's players trying to flood. Kicks forward. Lovely low kick. Great lead. Good spoil by the Iggy's player. Hands. 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 Tap. Bit of volleyball there. Another good handball. Justin Evans kicks in long. Tackling the goals. Good man-on-man body work there for the Iggy's player. Just smothered it through for a rush behind.
So Jake Tarker last week's best on ground, just couldn't quite get his hands on the ball there from that Justin Evans dangerous kick. It's on the Sportal scoreboard. 7 minutes down, first term, 1-2 Brighton. Old Iggy's yet to get it inside forward 50. So dangerous signs early with all the possession, and Brighton do set up well. That kick comes out there by Scanlon, son of Justin Scanlon, former Norwood League player. And this is where they fall down, old Iggy's. So they got players on with the switch. Great kick there by the Hodges. Sorry, not by Hodges. And that lands on the chest of Wellesby. So I didn't quite pick up that play there. Might have been Sigel back there, but you got to get it forward moving and fast. And Wellesby, he'll run around here. Lines up for his second. Beautiful looking snap. Kicks truly. So Brighton, superb start. 2-14 on the Sportal scoreboard, almost 8 minutes down first term.
I think the key there, Matt, was the lad Sigel on the wing got the ball, picked it up and kicked it really quickly and gave Wellesby every chance when you're one-on-one down the end there. He read the ball beautifully. Again, it snuck over the back. The ball is carrying to the right of screen. It absolutely is carrying. I
think Wellesby's licking his lips this afternoon. He's gone goalless the two previous outings, and he's ready to fill his bag up this afternoon. Tim Pillion back to the action.
Umpires bringing the ball back into the centre. At the moment, it was just that one turnover kick by the Iggy's boys. They went kick, kick, mark, mark really well. Then that short pass inward, didn't find the mark. Quick turnover, goals. This is where we. Okay, so the line up again. We've got a player from Brighton directly behind, no man on him. Player from Iggy's directly behind. They have been rucking and tapping backwards. No, they went forward this time. Iggy's have gone forward, handball over the top. Good tackle. That'll be a ball up. Ball right on the wing. Beautiful conditions. Good pack. Lots of players around the ball here. It's going to be hard. Alfred setting up. Oh, third man up. Big punch forward. Straight into the hands of Jared Miller. Quick handball across. Kicks it forward to the pocket. Good body work. Coming out. Hands again. Ricky O'Loughlin. He's got out of bounds again, I reckon. Kept it in by the umpire. The shot. Kicked the point across the goals.
Interesting kick there by O'Loughlin, because he had Miller on the goal square. Just needed to pop it over the top and lower his vision a little bit, but that'll come with experience. O'Loughlin, plenty of youth on his side. So it looks like Bristow will do the kick-in duties. Doesn't have a lot on. It's pretty stagnant out there for old Iggy. He's got one out here on our broadcast side. Goes out to the far side and a 2-on-1. And Brighton do love getting their players in structured positions. Goes towards Miller, and he should have let that go out, the old Iggy's player, because he would have found himself with a free kick with the last possession out of bounds. Boundary throw in 20 metres out from the Brighton goal, and they're peppering it at the moment on the Sportal scoreboard. 2-3-15 plays, no score for old Iggy's. Ball comes to ground from that tap out, comes out towards Lloyd, can't take the mark, so they could clear here. Old Iggy's comes towards the wing side on another 1-on-2 contest and up against the odds, so he's pulled the player down, and the contest will be a free kick on true centre wing on the far side. So they go into that forward line with interest again, goes towards O'Loughlin, can't take the mark, ball to ground, there's that main Tarka, dangerous, goes out to Illingsworth, should have made more of that one, and a minus score. So 2-4-16, some unforced behinds, proving a little bit costly on the scoreboard at the moment.
Good setup there by Brighton. Both set ball positions there went to a handball out the back to a player, as the Iggy's man chases the ball that got over the back net for their 4th point to bring in. Iggy's really struggling to get past the halfway mark here, Matt. They haven't got past the wing or had a forward entry yet inside their 50. It's a big press by Brighton. As you can tell, the whole oval is covered. It's about hitting a target.
You've got Brighton there with not one player in their defensive
Correct.
half.
So it looks like Connor Briscoe again, taking the kick in. Good left foot. Stabs it long and hard. 2-on-1. Roved well. Right up by Will Ferrari there. Roved it, got around the ball onto the wing, but again, Brighton player playing in front first to the ball. Tackle from behind, holding the ball. Gives it back to him. Okay, he's looking. Now, here's the first approach inside. Goes short out wide. We're going to inch it up here. Brighton have got a player behind the ball, loose, so you've got to be careful, just not the long kick. It'll hold up into the wind. Kicks long down the flank, gets the bump. 2-on-1, gives a little bump out, takes the mark. Kicks inwards, positions well, plays on straight away. Left foot switch across the oval. Brighton, they got 2-on-1. Good tap over. Jared Miller, Jake Tarka. Good tackle, brings him around. Ball is stagnant on the half forward flank, right across. It's gone from one end of the oval, right across to the goal square side here for Brighton.
So Draper, showing plenty of speed around the ground, the big man. Up against Alfred again, good tap by Alfred. Goes straight to Osborne, can't pick it up. Could have got a free kick for a push in the back. Pulled out of the contest. Anyway, the ball comes to ground towards Nader. Nader goes up towards the half forward line looking for Hodges. No mark taken. Plenty of numbers in the middle of the Karen Rolton oval. Osborne switches. He's got Draper on. We did say pre-game he can't sneak forward. I think he's a bit too far from home for mine. It's going to have to be his best kick from outside the paint. I don't think he's got it in him. Maybe their runner's just having a chat with him. Swim between the flags, big drapes. Swim between the flags.
This will be a good indication of the wind here.
Yeah, it will. He's got the wind coming over his right shoulder. Perfect for a Shane Warne wrong in that wind. Anyway, Draker from outside the paint. Never really looked like making distance. Ball comes to ground, no mark taken. Old Iggy's trying to get that ball out of their defensive 50. It's a 2-on-1 again in favour of Brighton. They just need to lower the eyes here, looking for Wellesby again. He's hot hands at the moment, Wellesby. So they've got a bit of a counter-attack on the move here. Old Iggy's going to hold it up. They've got a couple out the back. Just need to lower the eyes. They've gone inside. And I think they have found their player that they might have been looking for. There's a switch on again. Beautiful looking kick. And lands on a Vanderjude.
Great movement there by Iggy's. He looks short, lowers the eyes. There's the lead. Doesn't find the man. Recovers well. Turns. Handball. Looks out wide. Finds the man loose. Takes the mark. Right, calm down. That was great movement by Iggy's then when they came out from the back line. They found a target. Lowered the eyes. 3 in a row. They're going to have their first shot inside 50. No, handball's out the back, running past. At the full back. Kicks long to the goal square. Not just going to make the field and rush through. Is that the big fall from fullback James Kennedy?
It was James Kennedy.
Snuck up with the kick.
Fortunate position to work with James Kennedy.
Old Iggy's are on the scoreboard with a rush behind. Let's see how Brighton are set up here. They're setting up for a kick down the middle here. Watch this. There's no going wide here. Runs out and boom, straight down he goes. You can tell where the ruckman's setting up in the centre. They're all crowded. Good handle out, Noah. Over to Hugh Ferrari. Kicks long. Pack form. Spoilt forward. Beautifully roved at the front of the pack. Brighton. Seagull tackled. hanging on, free kick. On the half-back line for Brighton.
So Siggles started very well in this match this afternoon. I love this long and direct footy, Brighton. Got a play on Wellesby out the back, caught out of position, giving away the free kick even though he took the mark in the end. And the free kick should go to Kennedy, or is it McCarthy? It might be McCarthy. Bit of mouthing off there. So McCarthy will go into unusual territory, which is forward of half the centre line. Ball comes to ground. Will Ferrari there. Beautiful handoff to his brother. Is it his brother? I'm not sure, but they're on the board here, Old Iggies. And a sensational kick. Geez, that was fast hands there by Ferrari.
That's how they're going to do it. That's how they have to do it. It was a great mark. Ill disciplined by the Brighton player there. Yes, he marked the ball, but his first attempt for the spoil did take the player high. Forced the 25 metres. They moved the ball fast, took a mark, handball. Not 100% sure who that was. Is it the player coming off here? Was it Tom Vanderjut? We'll have a look. We'll check that afterwards. But that was very good direct play. Clean hands, hit a target, lowered the eyes. Brighton are playing very attacking footy, taking the game on, got caught there. Back into the centre. James up, taps it. Brighton player picks up the ball, grabbed by two of his players immediately. Umpire says, give it to me again. Tap sideways, man on man in the centre at the moment. Very hard to get a kick. For hanging on, got it out. Oh, another tight, high tackle, sling, whatever you want to call it. Good attack on the ball there by Hugh Ferrari. Plays on, dodges the man, lowers the eyes with a lovely kick, and a beautiful forward mark. That's how you do it. Beautiful, lowered the eyes, good direct kick, leading forward, coming out, one strong grab. Very hard to stop those. Turn around, man, let me see your number. Is it Darcy Emerson? Is that 6?
Not sure, but it's clearly their best play of the game so far for Old Iggies.
30 metres out, directly in front. A really important kick this. This gets it back to 2 goals apiece. Or is it Bradley Jones? I think it's Bradley Jones. Oh, very deliberate creep in with the small steps, but just hooks it gently to the left. Brighton take the quick kick in.
Good work there by Brighton. Quick to play out of that outside defensive 50. Head out to that the far side there, true centre wing. Marked there by Finlay Bennett, new into the team this week. As the rain starts to tumble down here at Karen Rolton. Nice work in their defensive 50 there by Loy. Lucky not to be given hold of the ball in fact. And some strong tackling. And we'll have a throw up. About 47 from home for Old Iggy. So been a tale of 2 halves in this first quarter. Both sides getting on top. Nice tap work there by Lord. Ball comes to ground. Good clearing work here. Some pressure from behind. He's gone. Sensational tackle. And the pressure meter's up here for Old Iggies. And reward for effort. And they really do need to nail this goal. So Bradley Jones, the vice captain, leading from the front. And he'll have his second shot inside a minute.
He'll kick this one.
So Jones, again taking the Dennis Lilly style run up. Fair way back. Man on the mark's only about 18 from home. Pretty direct kick, slight angle, staggered approach. This time he nails it. And the Sportal scoreboard starting to line up for the home team. As Old Iggies go to 2-2-14. Brighton doing all the hard work early doors. 2-4-16, 2 points to margin. Heading into time on first term.
Both sides in defence have set up really well. So even at that ball on the half-back line there, if Brighton got a quick kick out, they were only going to kick it to 3 Iggies blokes standing behind the play. Brighton have done the same, so that's why they locked him in when Ritomi went forward to get the ball past. So sides are setting up nicely, and it's going to take really good kicks, lowering the eyes, hit shorter targets to work through that net. Umpire throws the ball up, even bounce. Lachlan comes in, scoops the ball up beautifully, kicks wide. Brighton player or hits the ground and skids forward. Usually it would bounce up on him.
So Thomas Ryan was that goal scorer, the first goal scorer for Old
Out
Iggies.
of bounds, not touched. Down the wing off hands. And Lachlan unhappy with himself because he had that beautiful kick out of the centre. It just right in front of the player, which you do properly, but it skidded on and went out of bounds, and the last touch rule means you get a kick against you. Very unlucky. Boundary throw in on the wing, right in front of the clubhouse here. Two ruckmen fighting. Aaron Warner did well there. Umpire, going to call it up. Yep. But how are they setting up here? No, it's man on man across the board everywhere here. So as soon as they've got a centre ball in the middle, it's man on man. Right arm Max Alfred knocks the ball forward. Ferrari kicks it out into open space. Iggy's player in front. Oh, got a bad bounce. Ball's out the back. It's about how clean you are here while the ball's on the ground. And he socketed that off the ground. What are they going to do? Umpire signals out a kick. Plays on quickly. Centres the ball over the back. Oh, good spoil. Good contest. And a too high tackle as he reached in, got the ball, an arm came across the shoulder, smacked him high. Oscar Rice, 45 out into the breeze, 40 out into the breeze. This is going to take everything he's got. Had a quiet little peek behind him then to see if anyone was running past with a longer leg. He looks confident. There's one player running. He looks confident. Kicks it, punches it hard, punches it low. Oh, he's on line. There was some hands on the line. Umpire's called it over. Beautiful, confident, low, smooth, good sound off the boot. Direction, there was a pack of players in there. They thought they got their handle it just over the line. And here we are, first quarter, 22 minutes in. Iggies have hit the front with 3 goals. Going against the win.
So magnificent start here by Old Iggies on their home deck. And it's definitely been a tale of two halves in this first quarter, with Brighton doing all the attacking with a little bit of not reward for effort on the scoreboard. And on the Sportal scoreboard for the first time this afternoon, it's a 4-point lead to Old Iggies. Ruckman go at it again. Nice tap by Alfred. Comes out the back this time around. Ball comes to ground. Nice work there by Draper. Second effort says the Ruckman, very impressive. Goes past Francis. Some strong tackling by Francis. Also by Miller at ground level. And I think they've got the clamps on. So it trickles along the boundary line. Good work there. Shouldn't have hand passed that at the end, because that should have been last possession. I don't know if either of the umpires have seen it. I know Will Ferrari did. And the umpires overrided him, as I suggested. Will Ferrari from left half back. He's got a player down the line in Rice. And he's also got Samuel Winter down the line as well. So the ball's going to hold up in the breeze. Comes to ground. Nice work by Hodges. Gets it out to Rice. Not much on it, half forward. And it should have been a paid free kick there for chopping the arms to the Brighton half back there. Not paid. And there's a bit of a feeling around the Karen Rolton Oval at the moment. And Old Iggies are up and about. Comes out to Ferrari. Dishes one out the back to his brother Hugh. Comes out to the left forward pocket for Old Iggies. Can they snaffle another one? And that should have been another possession out of bounds there. Not paid. Or is it? Yeah, he's paid.
That was rushed. I was on full.
Yes. And there was a little kick towards the end there that trickled off his boot. I don't know whether it's out of bounds on the full or definitely last possession. But a very, very difficult opportunity.
So Bradley Jones again here, the full forward. He looks like he's having a serious shot here going around the corner. It's going to be a matter of whether he makes the distance.
So
Plays on, kicks around, kicks way too soon. Sorry.
No, you're in there.
Okay, so that kick went way too soon, curved too early, straight into the back pocket. We're deep, 24 minutes into the first quarter. Brighton have got the ball. Back pocket, switches the play, lowers the eyes, deep into the other side pocket. Player leading straight at him, got one player long, chooses the long player over the top. Ferrari comes off his man, smashes in the back of the head, play on, advantage played, takes a bounce, only just came back up to him, nearly looked for it, kicks long, it's over the back again. Iggy's pick up, hands, pick up, he's giving it to legs, he's giving it an advantage. Iggy's now coming out of deep, Does he lower the eyes and look? No, he decides to go long down the line with a sliding ball. Picks it up nicely, hands inside. There he is, the full forward. Bradley Jones kicks not that good a kick. Fumbles it in, could be a panic ball. Deep into the point, well tackled. Sliding into the ground. And the umpire will call that up. Wow, how was that? Come from one side of the oval down to the forward line, straight out to the other with a 2 play on advantage free kicks and moving the ball fast. 2 ruckman, taps it down. Good man on man play, tackles him hard, dead ball. Little kick up in the air, not 5, not 15, going to play that on. Osborne, handball out. Higgins, handball out, tries to take him on. That's holding the ball, umpire. 35 Rice, centres it. Spoil, heading towards the boundary line, picks it up, grabs, wrestles his way out of a strong tackle there to get his handball away. Umpire calls it up, deep play, couple of hands on hips there and hands on heads there. Bit of strong play there as we now hit 26 minutes. This is an important couple of minutes. Umpires are coaches are screaming from the bench now, so there can't be much longer to go. Kick around the corner by Brighton, deep to the wing. Oh, good mark. Maxie Alfred dropped, unfortunately. Handball, Wellsby, great hands. Billingsworth kicks long. It's a one-on-one play here to Taka. Fits in his hands, takes the mark. Ran well, kicked it over his head. Good strong hands. 15 metres out on a side angle. And this, if successful, will give Brighton back the lead just on nearing quarter time. Jake Tarker, very deliberate. Lining up. Beautiful kick, straight through the middle. As we hit the 27-minute mark of the first quarter, Brighton moved to 3 goals 4, 22. Old Iggy's 3 goals 2, 20.
So seesawing towards the end of this first term, and on the scoreboard, Brighton get back on top with a nice goal there in a one-on-one contest by Jake Tarker. Obviously kicking 4 goals last week in his first match for the club in a man of the match performance. So when Brighton have got ball and head much cleaner, but as we've seen with Old Iggy's, once they push the ball quickly and counter attack, they're on. So the boundary umpire doing some of his finest work, jumping back over the fence. Unfortunately, they've usually got a couple of people behind the goals here in the Adelaide Footy League to assist them with the process. So surprising to see Warner as the second ruckman before, playing as a pinch hitter. So Draper's actually starting outside of the centre circle, which is usually a free kick. Alfred gets his hands on the ball. Good strong tackle there by Will Ferrari, and he's received that free kick for a strong tackle on Osborne, deservedly so. So can Old Iggy sneak one late in this first turn? Terrific mark there on the half back line. So nice mark there by Murphy. Murphy goes out wide. Haven't gained too much territorial advantage thus far, so left half back and go down the line. And there it is. Siren goes for the first time this afternoon in this match, and at quarter time it's Brighton 3-4-22 with a 2-point lead over the home team, Old Ignatians 3-2-20. We'll be back after these key messages. Welcome back to the picturesque Karen Rolton as the rain starts to trickle down here, and very beautiful surroundings. We've got the Royal Adelaide Hospital in the background of our northern end of view, and the sensational parklands that are a major part of this picturesque city. So on the Sportal scoreboard at quarter time, it's 3-4-22 Brighton, and the home side 3-2-20, 2-point margin in favour of Brighton. I'm guessing that Brett Backwell would have been a little bit disappointed with the second half of that first term, while Daryl Spencer would be very happy with his charge as Tim Pillion after a very slow start.
Yeah, it's exactly what happened last week. They came out a bit fumbly and just were a little bit conscious of the other side and trying to find their feet. But once they got the ball and they took the game on, they lowered their eyes, hit targets, which was really, really well done. Interesting setups here, Matt, if you watch. So centre bounces, they're setting up in the centre differently every bounce, and even Iggy's that quarter in one of the centre bounces lined up completely down the centre of the ground. They didn't have any player out on the flanks or the pockets, whereas Brighton had all their players on their forward set up across the flanks. It's just interesting to see. They've obviously got some set plays going forward in this game.
Wellesby started particularly well for Brighton after being goalless in his last two outings. 2 goals for Thomas Robbie, singles to Taka, who was the best man on the ground last week, and singles to Ryan Jones and Oscar Rice. So very similar setups, both ends of the ground. And good to see an extended siren, which they don't normally do here at the Karen Rolton. They don't like upsetting the apple cart in the surrounding area. Ball comes to the ground, comes towards Osborne, picks it up beautifully, snaps on his left foot, heading towards Illingsworth, could have been held on, kicks off the ground, goes out towards Welby, beautiful tap on, gets it back himself, goes to Miller, all dribbles it, can't make it, Tucker! Still in the field of play. Amazingly, Miller's snapped, unconventional, and it trickles through for a point, almost twice in 30 seconds. So, Sportal scoreboard, 3-5, 23. 3-2,
Kick in
20.
straight down the middle by the Iggy's player from full back. It reaches the centre of the ground. Brighton player picks it up, handballs out wide. Osborne again in the middle, slippery ground, takes the bump, rides it, kicks forward again, ball holds up. Good spoil out of the pack situation. Player grabs it, will be really strong in the clinches there, gets it out. Brighton player smothered ball off his boot. Jesus tied in close there. The umpire from the furthest away, the centre of the ground, has pulled a free kick to Brighton. Saw something that the umpire standing 5 yards away didn't see. Don't have a problem with that. Sometimes you've got different angles.
Just while you're pulling there, Tim, I did notice that umpire who was in charge of that passage of the field was actually obscured from the play. So a really good call from the second umpire.
Yep, and that's why I didn't want to say anything. You obviously did see something.
Yeah.
So this is Ricky O'Loughlin. Direct shot, 40 metres out. Bit of an angle. Into the breeze, into the rain, kicks it up nicely, nice contact, right hand side of the post, made the distance easily, sneaks through for another point.
Geez, we did see the ball hold up in O'Loughlin's kick there, so that could be a good pocket to kick goals from this afternoon. So the vice captain Kennedy will kick out, goes straight down the guts, which is the best way this afternoon. Ball comes out the back, gets some extra coverage because Sigel got caught under the ball. Good work there by Bastion. I think he's been done. No, there's a free kick there. And the umpire's pulled it back. So looks like there was a dangerous tackle. And it'll go in favour of Osborne. Osborne's got Bastion out wide here towards the broadcast side. Ignores that option. He'll go and look deeper. Wellesby's on. Ignores that target too. Ends up going towards Wellesby. Ball should come out the back towards Miller. No mark taken. Wellesby at ground level this afternoon. Gets the ball on his boot there. Can they get out of their D50? So we've seen when they go counter-attack, they're on. Wellesby intercepts that ball, comes out towards Osborne again. He's had a truckload of it early. Trying to pick it up there was Chalmers, can't pick up the ball. So turnovers on. And this is where they've played their best footy on the counter-attack. And unfortunately, too many behind the ball this occasion.
Ball's gone over the back. And there's a loose player. He picked it up beautifully. Switches with his left forward. Beautiful long kick out wide. Illingworth leaps high, takes a one grab, really good on the half-back flank, looks down the line, good, punch, low kick, oh well done. Anthony Cure sees that, jumps in between the two of them, takes the mark in defence. Right on the wing here in front of the Karen Rolton grandstand. Short. William Nader, short again. Tom Scanlon, short again. Cut off this time. Well read by Aaron Warner. Handball out wide. Pushed in the back before doing it. Okay. Interesting concept there. Iggy's kicking with the wind, decided to go short and low 3 times in a row before they kick long.
So Warner, at left half back, sizzles one towards the target there. No mark taken by Miller. Some good work there. The pressure meter's up from both sides this second term. The umpire's seen enough and says I'll have a throw in. I'll ball it up. Kick and a half from home. About 80 from home for Brighton. So Brighton with the ascendancy in the start of this second term. Nice tap out the back there was Draper. Some good work there at ground level by Ferrari. Gets his hand pass out. And it's Alfred the ruckman, almost forgets to take it with him. Some holding on here at centre wing right in front of our broadcast. Should have been a free kick in favour of old Iggy's. Ball comes to ground. Fortuitous kick. Should land in the lap. Well, that should be 50.
25.
And it's 25. Kennedy's not happy. Sorry, it's not Kennedy. It's actually McCarthy. And it was a silly decision there. And Miller should make this from here. So I don't know whether it was a 50 or a 25, but he's got a big one. Anyway, Miller will line up, slide angle. He'll kick from about 35 from home. I'm interested to see what the breeze does here. They'll have to punch it into the breeze. Deliberate approach, beautiful looking kick. Straight through the high diddle for Miller. And Brighton strike first in the second quarter. It's 4-6-30, 3-2-20, 10-point buffer. 5 minutes down, second term.
Oh, coach killer there, Matt. Didn't need to do it. Player had a mark, put on his chest. Iggy's player ran into him, smashed him into the back, gave him a push up. I saw it, paid the 25. Player gets up immediately, kicks the goal. So one each. Happened in the first quarter. It's happened now this quarter. Not looking anything into it, but William McCarthy's come straight to the bench. Might be an internal thing. The players give away something like that, have to come to the bench for a 5-minute cool off. We're back in the centre. It's an even game. Okay, we're all setting up differently. Man on man in the centre. Big bounce. Alfred gets his tap down beautifully to Will Ferrari. However, it bounced the other way and Ricky O'Loughlin grabs it. Kicks forward. 1-on-1, well picked up. Good spoil. Handball out, robed. Tarka. Round the body. Straight across the front of goal. Out of bounds. And that ends up being a kick for old Iggy's in the back pocket. Player has to go and retrieve his own ball, so we'll take a chance to set up as the players move across the ground. So far, centre clearances. Brighton have dominated this quarter. Ball's been down their forward line. Okay, Iggy's switches the ball straight across to the other side. Finds his man deep in the back pocket. Left foot, long kick. Nice kick over the back. Let's go. 2 Brighton players out running here. 3 Brighton players to 1 player on the lane that gets the handball back. Kicks short. Oh, good mark.
Courageous mark there by Evans. So he's probably a little bit too far from home. He's got that Viking look about him, Evans. 55 from home. Sends it deep. Looking for a tall target. No one back there. And it trickles off the hands of Alfred for a rush behind. So Kennedy to do the kicking duties. Plays on immediately. He's got a target out here in Hugh Ferrari. And he gets plenty of carry on it. Doesn't take the mark. Mark's not played either. So he's in a bit of strife. Osborne holds him up in the tackle. Well done by Osborne. Comes out to Rice, who was a goal kicker in the first term. Nice kick forward. They're on here if they can pick it up. Beautiful hand pass. Comes out to Thomas Ryan, who kicked the goal in the first term. Can't pick it up. Well held up. And the umpire says my ball. So probably an even response there in the end. And they'll have a throw up about 48 from home for the old Iggies.
Like many people around the ball there. Buck goes up. Picked up by Ferrari. Handball's out. Kicked up forward. 2-on-1, 3-on-1 back there. Brighton got plenty of players behind the ball. Bark gave on Sigel. Deep in the line. Goes wide. Oh. Players in front of the pack. Over the back of the pack. Hands. Good handball. Back to Max Alfred. Kicks it. Oh, left foot mongrel up high. hits the ground. And very quick hands there by Ferrari. Takes a long kick. Through for a point. Iggy's first score into this quarter. Good they can hold it in down there.
So 10-point margin on the Sportal scoreboard. 8 minutes down, second turn. Not many options on, which will be bothering Backwell. They'll all come out to this grandstand side. Darts a kick. Nice mark by Evans. Beautiful mark, and that's a Bianco Mark of the Week contender. He's in some great touch, Evans. Gets it out towards Warner. So Warner and Draper. Ball comes to ground. They've got a couple of runners outside, and Higgins can be damaging. Goes over the head of Tarker. Can he run onto it before it goes out of play? And just goes out of bounds and beats all comers. So it'll be a free kick here at the right back pocket.
Beautifully right in front of us here by Jake Francis. Sat at the front of the pack, got the ball. Kick in. Good mark. Good lad. Oh, Evans again. Fantastic. What a great competitor. Working really hard on and off the ball there. Ball goes out of bounds on the half forward flank for Brighton on the left hand side, just outside. Okay, man on man, everyone finds a player, although we got William Cheeseman Button on the ground at the back. Now here he goes again. Justin Evans tackle, follow up again. On the ground, scramble. Hold it in, umpire will call.
So I don't know whether Evans actually tried to do that, but he hand passed it to Ferrari just so he could tackle him. I'm pretty sure he did it. I don't know if that was in his mindset though.
Good kick. Deep in forward, one-on-one. Brighton players over the ball, hit, scramble, chip. Oh, here he goes. Wellesby picks it up, handballs it beautifully back to Osborne, snaps around the corner from 40 out, and it just curls too far.
So they're ruining some missed opportunities here. Brighton 4 goals, 8 on the Sportal scoreboard. Thumping kick out of full back and a huge collision, and it was some friendly fire from the Brighton defenders. Beautifully picked up there by Plenty, and he's had plenty of it this afternoon. Goes inboard. They should go inside 50 here, and it's Ray just marked there by Kennedy. Geez, he's been rock solid in defence. Comes out to our broadcast side, lands on the chest of Washer. A play on immediately. It's Brighton with plenty of players behind the ball here. Great interception. Excellent work there by Emerson. Chain of hand passes, a dribble kick inside 50. Not his best kick, but something he had to do. Not much options on. So Brighton with plenty of players around the pill, but the pressure meter's up for both sides again. Sneaky hand pass out the side and a reverse torpedo.
Great
and some great work there by Old Iggies. They're very desperate on the home deck this afternoon.
Yeah, look, the playing on at times was fantastic there. Hands were clean, kept running forward. They did well, but the finish was only a point. Okay, he's looking. Kick in from Brighton. Short, straight down the middle. Man clear, really well done there by Jack Chalmers to find room, but he turns sideways. Kicks it straight out to the lateral on the defensive side. On the half-back flank, he turns back, looks short, goes back to full-back. We're back to where we started. He's got a beautiful left leg, inward to Jack Loy. Use him as he runs past. Here he goes again. Beautiful left leg in. Lowers the eyes. Miller makes a good lead. It's going to hit him. It's going to hit him on the chest. Till his player got his hand in there. Brandon Lord and spoiled beautifully. Ball out of bounds on the wing.
Some great work there on the last line of defence from Plenty. Ball's thrown in, shallow throw in. Nice work with the 2-on-1. Ball comes around, almost a throw, not seen by the umpire. So Old Iggies, can they get this hand pass through? They can't. Good work comes out to Nader. Nader's caught from behind. Not much voice, the young fella, unfortunately. And the seasoned campaigner in Osborne. Superb tackler, Baked Bean tackler of the week. Goes short. So they're just trying to get the structure right here, Brighton. Got players on left, right and centre. Goes out towards Warner and a one-on-one. Bit of holding on, both players holding on. No free kick to either player. And not sure whether that was a hand pass and out of bounds or just come spilled out of the tackle. So they'll have a throw in. about 65 home for the Brighton Bombers.
We've got a strong arm wrestle here. Ball being played between half forward flank to half forward flank. Ball thrown in. Good ruck work. Taps the ball down. Keep going. Bit of aerial ping pong there. Iggy's player taps it forward. Out of bounds. Okay, we've got a bit of a moment in the game where we've all manned up across the ground. Brighton did have those loose players behind the ball. Iggy's players have now gone to him and matched them up. So we're going to be a bit of one-on-one stuff here, which is good. Ruck contest over the back. By Aaron Warner, hands. Iggy kicks the ball high. Here we go. Players running forward. Well done.
He's been solid in defence, Sigel. And another impressive mark. Geez, there's players just weren't quite sure. And Wellesby's gone down. Don't see really what happened to him, but he's gone down, Wellesby. Sigel again, strong. Geez, his replacement, Gary, in his role as a rebounding centre half back. Sigel, he's been absolutely superb this afternoon. There's a switch on wide, goes out to Chalmers. Chalmers has been busy. Looking for fine bounce and probably should have attacked the ball better there was Bennett. Gets back into the action. And there's that man Plenty on that far side. No, Plenty's back in defence. Got two, there we go. Some fancy footwork there on the far side there by old Iggy's. Nothing really doing for them. Some clever tap on. Goes to Bennett. Couldn't get his boot to ball very well. And a driving kick from Kennedy.
Into the centre of the ground, Iggy's goes short, takes the chest mark. Looks, there's no one there. There's a wall of Brighton players behind the play. Handball, Max running past. Big long kick over the back. It's going to slide. Is this going to run through? It's ridden all the way through. He's kicked that from the centre circle.
And there is your thirsty camel, goal 8, James Kennedy. A magnificent ponytail fullback. He's just come from the kick from the centre of the Karen Rolton Oval. And she's just skittled out the back. Kind bounces you've ever seen. And that is the thirsty camel goal of the week. Get your voting in now.
It is that little bit of trouble where the players are all leading forward to a guy from the centre of the ground thinking it's going to hit him, but the wind, the carry, went straight through and split him in half, and it had such pace on it, it ran through at 100 mile an hour.
So the wind doing plenty, and so is the Sportal scoreboard. So it is Brighton 4-8-32, 4-point margin against Old Iggy's 4-4-28. Ball comes back to the middle, good tap on them by Evans. They've got their tails up here, Old Iggy's, magnificent smother. Inspiring stuff. Comes out the back and another smother. Sensational work. Nice little poke off the ground. Goes towards O'Loughlin. He kicks off the ground as well. So 3 kicks off the ground in a row. Comes towards Miller. He's been minded well this afternoon. Can he get a hand pass over the top? He can. Goes to O'Loughlin. Bit of fancy work. Sells some eye candy. Gets it towards Miller. Miller's got to cut the players on. Pokes it in between both of them. And a strong mark in the end by Bennett.
Now the umpire, they've taken the mark, but the umpire's seen something after the game. After Miller, after kicking the ball, got a bit of a bump and then took it on with the other players. So the ball's been switched over after having a set shot for goal. The Iggies have got Connor Bristow, looks left foot, beautiful hands, Ferrari. Right. It is, isn't it? 21. Goodness me, Tom Scanlon. Kicks wide on the wing. It's out in front of him, the ball skids along. Brighton got numbers behind the ball, handball out the back beautifully. Goes inward, finds his man. Again, switch. Misses the man, it's over the top. 1-on-3 here. Handball's inside. Handball's inside. Comes back out for soccer off the ball. Blake Higgins, first to the ball, picks it up. Handball over the top. Brighton player lowers the eyes beautifully. Takes the mark. Does he going to play
right
on?
In front of our commentary team here. Illingsworth winds around on his right foot. And that ball's been cleared and taken out the back there by Lade. Laden's got a switch on. Goes to Kennedy, who's kicked the thirsty camel, I'd say just that goal of the year, not the goal of the week. Goes along down the line. Ball should beat all comers, or does it stay in? No. And it is a free kick. So it's always hard to see that last, I suppose, on the far side. And whether the free kick goes to Draper, and it will. Bit of a stalemate in the middle of the ground there between Draper and Alfred in the rucks.
Jack Chalmers.
So Chalmers has been awarded the free kick. A little bit hard to see there. Don't know if Draper actually wanted the free kick. Marked there by Bennett. He's getting busy as the game progresses. Not a lot on. They do have the switch if they want to come this side. So Bennett winds around and wheels on his left foot. Beautiful work and strong hands there by Warner. Warner goes with a beautiful looking kick inside 50 to... Oh, and it's chipped off. So Miller can't get the job done.
Okay, holding his half back, kicks long to the wing, going out wide, jumps in front, takes one across the chops. That's what happens when you get in front. Player trying to spoil the ball, sometimes hits the arms or hits the head. He looks to play on straight away and roll. He does so. Didn't go long. Kicks short. Oh, over the back. Iggy's player kicks the ball deep to the pocket. There's only one man back there sweeping beautifully, the Brighton player. Left foot across to Nigel Osborne. If he turns quickly, he's got another Brighton player. Yep. Chips it up over to Ben Tate. Another one. Illingsworth is up high. Oh, just over his head. Okay. James Kennedy again back. Oh, that's late, umpire. Didn't need to do that. Kennedy kicks the ball, got a little bump to the side. There was nothing animosity in it, but just late. Free kick paid 40 metres out, straight in front.
So very undisciplined there from Ty Murphy with that late bump on James Kennedy, and results in a free upfield to Bradley Jones.
Bradley Jones, goal kicker, vice captain. Distance shouldn't be a worry with the wind. It's always going to be about the accuracy. Does take that long run up. He walks the first half and then pops the second half.
As a full forward, I don't know if I'll be doing that much walking with the Dennis Lilly style.
I'm going to back him in though. He's got a very, very deliberate, beautiful run. Right hand shoulder, right hand post. Sits it up nicely. Just drifts it across the left hand side.
And amazingly, the ball didn't actually move off its line there. So the wind does have it's an interesting wind this afternoon.
Yours.
Plenty does the kick-in duties again. Goes to Loy. Loy plays on immediately. Goes back to Plenty. They play at their best when they've got the pressure meter on. So a bit of a curling type ball comes out towards O'Loughlin. Keeps it in play. He's got one on the 45. Sensational smother. And great work there by William Nader. So as we head into time on, 3 points the margin on the Sportal scoreboard. Maybe a little bit closer than Coach Backwell would have expected.
Couple of players.
So ball thrown in 60 metres. Oh, that's a very shallow. You're going to have to throw that in, old mate. And they call it back, thankfully. It's the first time, I think, last night I saw a boundary throw in recalled in the AFL, so it does happen. Both ruckman fairway back, some holding on. I don't know which way, but he's given it to Alfred. They played immediately, and the umpire said, no, it must come back to Alfred, the ruckman. So a good tussle in the ruck there between Alfred and Draper. Goes to Kennedy. Thumping kick. Kennedy, as we've seen earlier, goes to the hot spot. No mark taken and thumped straight through the points. And we've got a 2 point margin on the Sportal scoreboard.
Done that a few times now. Kennedy's come off from fullback, taken the handball behind with his long kick, so they've got to be aware of that. We've got everyone up on the first half of the field here with a huge press by old Iggy's. Here we go, Jake Plenty, long kick, left foot down the field, man in front, over the back, handball. Gets a clear kick away, out wide, finds his target, Miller. Sits it up nicely for the Brighton player to walk onto it. Good body work, got in front, kept in front, got the handball away. Over the back, Ben Tate having a look. Shot on goal, near side, misses. Great transition of play there by Brighton from the hands over the back. Moved it very fast, got a shot on goal. Okay, direct, here we go again. Straight down the middle by old Iggy's player. Over the back it goes. Who's there? Who can keep their feet in the mud? Picked up beautifully. Dodge, weave, short kick, hold the marks. Well played. Taking the mark, Carl Hodges. Turned his back on play. He's made his mind up a long way out that he's having a shot here. Obviously got the distance because he's very confident there. It's all about accuracy. Straight kick, straight down the middle from fullback. Scramble in the muddy conditions. Short kick over the top, finds his mark, and Hodges finds himself 45 out, straight in front.
He's confident making the distance, which is a surprise. Going to take his best kick, Hodges.
Well, he made his mind up the minute he got the mark. He was going to do this. Needs to run up, a bit slow on the steps. Just lifts the leg beautifully. There was never in doubt about the distance. High into the net at the back, but to the right hand side.
It's a thumping 60-metre kick when you look at the distance the ball carried over the back. but it's not going to count for too much as it went through for a minor score. Plenty with the kick-in duties. Going to be his 7th kick-in this afternoon. Got a player that he reminds me of with this left foot at the moment. I've just got to remember the name. Comes out towards our broadcast side. He's got a couple of players up. Ball comes to ground. Lachlan makes a good work there for the crumbs and cannot get amongst it. So that's 75 from home on their right half forward flank. 23 and a half gone second term. Both sides searching for a late goal in time on. Old Iggy structured well behind the ball. Nice tap work by Draper. Gets the clearance himself, goes towards Draper. Cut the players on the middle. Lachlan, bit of fancy footwork goes to Draper. Done well on the ruck there, the big man. So the work going through there is Evans. Evans stumps the ball looking for Miller. Gets the body work there. No mark taken. Strong tackle by Miller. And the transition was very, very well there by Brighton. We'll have a throw up 40 metres from home for the Brighton Bombers, who have looked the cleaner of the two sides. Nice tap there by Alfred. Kennedy whacks it on his boot. Inside out torpedo. Lands on the chest there of Murphy. Murphy goes inside 50. Oh, almost the crumbs there to Francis. Nothing doing. Snap on the left foot. Open goal square and a beautiful goal. And excellent work there to Bennett. So Finlay Bennett registers his first. And that late goal is probably deserved there for Brighton on the Sportal scoreboard, which sees them at 5-9-39 and 8-point buffer late in this second term. Old Iggy's 4-7-31.
Yeah, I get the feeling Iggy's went defensive here on the half-back flank, or their half-forward flank, when they really went man-on-man. Brighton were clean, got the ball, got it into their half-forward. They'll always look dangerous when they go forward. And that was a really good snap from a handball, loose forward handball out by the Iggy's player. Went straight in his hands and he said, "Happy birthday, I'll kick this," around the body. Look, we're deep into the second quarter. This is a very important centre bounce here. Maxi Alfred in the ruck. Gets the hand in, taps it backwards. There it is, it's set up. Oh! And Finlay Bennett read that beautifully. Came off the square, saw that ball out the back, tackled him hard to the ground. I don't reckon he had much of a chance to get rid of it, but he's given it a hold on the ball. And here's the length. This is a very important. So runs past from the half-back flank, gets the kick on. Dip into the hands again. Aaron Warner snaps around the corner, deep into the goal square.
Oh,
Nigel Bennett comes running. Nigel Osborne comes running from the half-forward flank, sideways, takes a chest mark. He is 15 metres out straight in front, and this is what I meant. This is going to be the gap. This could be an important kick that just gives that buffer. He's gone to sleep the last couple of minutes.
Courageous mark there by Nigel Osborne. He's had an absolute superb afternoon so far.
Should be a bit of a soda here for someone like Nigel. Walking beautifully, deliberately. Pops it through. No, hang on. Commentators curse. He's just given it a bit of a hook.
I don't know about that. I think the Benny Hill music comes to mind. Kennedy kicks out from fullback, slices and dices. Beautiful looking kick. So they're just on the edge of their D50. So Old Iggy just holding on here. And that's a terrible looking kick to 1-on-4. And O'Loughlin should bring the ball back in. Decides to go backwards. They do have the numbers back here. Draper on at the 45, the big ruckman, who's got the mindset of a rover, even though he is a ruckman. So 1-on-2, beautiful mark there. Sensational mark by Evans, the Viking. Just starting to have a real big impact on this game. Goes a searching ball looking for Warner. Warner's out the back, gets a hand pass out. Can't get it to Miller. Does end up in Miller's lap. Can he sneak one late? He has. So Jared Miller gets his second for the quarter, and that is going to put a lot of momentum in the hands of Brighton as we head into this second half. So just before the halftime break, it's 6-10-46, a very handy 15-point buffer with Old Iggy's on 4-7-31. Amazingly, we've had 10 goals and 17 points kicked in a half of footy. So some rude opportunities from both teams, but excellent work there to Miller. Just played the Joe the Goose out the back, fortuitously landed in his lap, dribbled along the ground and did the damage.
Yeah, an important goal, made up for the one that Nigel's missed there to give that 2-goal gap. Just really worried now whether Brighton have got their tail up and can do it again, but the Iggies can hold on late in this quarter. This set of clearance is crucial. Ricky O'Loughlin just walks through, pushes off, kicks the ball inside, deep into the pocket. Brighton player puts one hand up, can't just bring it down. There's a scramble. Stacks on the mill. No, umpire's letting it go as long as he possibly can. He's looking as he dragged it back in. And he's caught it holding the ball. Iggy's player must be all over it. Brighton player gets the free kick, hops up. Warner. Siren is gone. It is half time. He is deep in the forward pocket. He's inside the 50 set, but he is on a big angle. This is going to take an enormous kick from 45 metres out on the angle. He's a lefty, so that helps. Puts it up beautifully. Oh, look at that sit. Just fades across. Made the distance beautifully. Fades across. 1 point. Here we are at half time. Brighton 6 goals 11-47. Old Iggy's 4 goals 7-31. It's a 16-point ball game at half time, and up until 5 minutes into that quarter at the end there, the scores were basically 4 points apart. 2 quick goals to Brighton have broken the game open.
So rain starting to tumble down. We'll be back with second half action after these key messages. Welcome back for the second half of this round 9 clash, brought to you by Programs to Fit for the Adelaide Footy League. And big thanks to Filming Footy and Sports Interactive, our broadcast partners. On the scoreboard at half time as we head into the third term. 6-11 47 place 4-7 31. 2 to Wellesby and Miller for Brighton. Singles to Finlay and Taka. And Ryan, Jones, Kennedy and Rice. All singles for Old Iggy's. We get underway in this second half. Great work there by Osborne. He's probably been close to the best man on the ground so far. Nice tackling there by Taka. Comes out the back again to Osborne. Leads all comers. She's displayed some strong tackling this afternoon and some silky skills. Comes out towards O'Loughlin. Tries to reel it in with one hand. That is the throw every day of the week. And the umpire eventually pays it.
Okay, Iggy's on the half-back flank. It's ball, runs past the man, looks sideways. Oh, net in front. Blake Higgins, ball on the half-back flank. Wing, kicks forward. Out wide. 2-on-1 there, Wellesby's lead, spoiled over boundary line. Alright, so soft drizzle falling right across the oval here at the moment. Beautiful oval, but it's slippery conditions. Boundary throw in, over the back. Osborne just went under his hands. Ferrari picks the ball up. Beautiful screw punt, out wide to space. Here we go, ball will skid on. Iggy's player gets there first, good hands. Ty Murphy tries the handball, it slips off. Tackle. Oh, well done. About to kick it on the ground, then realised the player had his hands over the ball, so he pulled out. Ignatians, couple of quick handballs out, another handball out. Kick around the corner, dribbling, he's in front. Handball out, here we go, on the ground. Straight across, so close. Really good play there, good hands. Dribble shot across the body, through for a point, and Old Iggins get the first point of the third quarter and the first score, kicking into what is a little breeze.
So plenty to do the kick-in duties, as he has done all afternoon. It'll be his 8th kick from full back. Got Wellesby on this grandstand side, decides to ignore him, goes to a stronger and longer target, and Draper, big man, can't pick the ball off the deck. And rain's starting to get heavier here at Karen Rolton. And not the sort of ground you want to be raking this afternoon as you're trying to pick up the ball. So great to see Wellesby back out there in the second half after sitting out with some concussion type symptoms late in that second term. Good work there and a good pick up by Nader. Good interception. Comes off the hands of O'Loughlin. So first goal is imperative for both sides as they make an onslaught onto this second half. Good tap there by Draper. Ball comes to ground. Fancy footwork, very clever is Ryan. So kick the opening goal. Player going down there was Bastion. Comes to him on this occasion off from the hand pass of Draper. Beautiful mark taken by Francis. So Francis wheels and deals. He's got to play down that line, and Miller kicked 2 goals and he's been smacked in the back of the head. And these players have been going on all afternoon, him and Hewitt. So Miller, 2 goals in the second term, receives the free kick, goes looking for Warner, goes over his head, and a strong mark met out the back there by the Old Iggy's defender.
Back the ball, good mark in the back post, looks long, no, punches it low and hard. Oh, good spoil, hands, another kick, another little torp out front there, love it. Skids along the ground, 2-on-2. And off the ground, out of bounds on the wing. Alright, the rain seems to have just lightened it again a little bit there. Clubs feeling each other out at this stage. Man on man across the ground, no one's done anything else. Okay, boundary throwing momentum with the ball off the ground. Hugh Ferrari. Really good, kicks it forward right into the 50. It's a one-on-one duel here we go. Keep your feet, who's going to go to ground first? There it is, slide over. Slide over again, good punch out. Brighton, hands out the back. Kick on the ground. Deep onto the wing, slides to try and keep it in, and I reckon he's got there, it's touched, saves it for a boundary throw in rather than a kick in. Well done.
So the ball to be thrown in at centre wing on the far side. slow start to both sides. The time clock is stuck on 40 minutes, so we won't be doing any countdown time. Thankfully, Will Laws on camera has got the timer going on your Sportal scoreboard, and 5 minutes almost down in this third term. Good work there by Alfred, the ruckman. Strong mark, not 15 play on. Comes to Evans. Evans thumps at the big Viking, goes looking for Miller. Miller's out the back. Warner tries to rove, should beat all comers and go out of play. So we'll have a throw in about 40 metres from home for the Brighton Bombers, who kicked a couple of late ones to get the ascendancy into the second half. See if they can build on that lead. So the lead is 15 points on the Sportal scoreboard. And a magnificent initiative this afternoon with the old Iggy selling the Breakthrough Mental Health beanies, who are the sponsors of our Division 2 here at the Adelaide Footy League. Good work there, Osborne. Lands on the chest at Miller, beautiful mark. And made to earn it again by Cure, and he looks back at Cure and says, that's not on. I don't like it, but he'll line up from about 35. He'll have to kick from about 42, relatively straight in front. So Miller on top in this battle, kicking 2 in the second term, and we're looking at adding to his tally after kicking 2 last week. So an important part of the Brighton forward line. Deliberate approach, looks comfortable, and slices it, and he's just gone to the near side. So we talk about coach breaking the coach's hairline. Well, that one could have done it and added a couple of extra grays to Brett Backwell, who would probably be feeling pretty old after playing in the seas earlier this morning. And James Kelly, the acting captain, goes to go and retrieve the ball out the back. It must have beaten that back curtain, which is holding up the all the ball going out the back there.
Smart play by Miller, in front, kick around the corner, dropped, he just took it on the chest.
Yeah, smart wet weather footy, isn't it?
James Kennedy kicks long and wide. Oh, right on the boundary line there.
Ooh.
Found him beautifully.
Centimetre perfect.
Noah Layden looks, kicks long down the wing. Good spoil from behind. Players crumb, keep the momentum forward. Nice handle out wide. He's in trouble there. Kicks. Okay, Brighton player. Marks on the half-back flank, kicks long down the wing, back forms, spoil. Noah Layden over the ball. Umpire calls for all. There was a few people looking for the holding the ball there. We did no attempt to get it out, but it was over the top. Alright, rain stopped. Bit of an arm wrestle here. Osborne, quick kick out. Connor Bristow stood in the way as a loose man, but just went over his head. Miller again slams it onto the boot. It's online. Oh, Wellesby. And Miller on line there, going over the back. Wellesby tries to the mark, just drops it into the goal square. 2 players on the ground, and the Eagles player managed to rush it through for a behind.
So Kennedy to do the kick-in duties. He's got a player on. He went centimetre perfect last time. Looking for something a little bit less risque. Ball comes out the back there to Layden. Whacks it on his boot. He's got a player out the back. Done well here. And that's Emerson. Emerson goes inboard. So Scanlon mucks around with it. And he should have been done holding the ball. Not paid. Comes to Bastion. Goes towards Warner. Probably could have met the ball a little bit harder to make that mark. Gets his kick just at the pivotal moment. Goes towards Draper. Probably not 15, but paid. He's got Higgins on. He's got Chalmers on. Goes towards Chalmers. Francis. Francis can't mark the ball. Wellesby's in the prime position here. Gets it on his boot, and it's well smothered. Interesting to see what the bounce does. Good work there by Miller. Bustling his way through the pack at ground level. And somehow it's kicked off the ground. Comes towards Tarka. Will sell some ice candy if he has to. Miller's been done and drilled into the ground and holding the ball. I think that man Cure has let him know about it again.
Interesting battle, these two. There's a bit of heat on there. Miller keeps putting himself in front of the ball and getting it, and Cure just keeps tackling him to the ground. However, rewarded for the tackle this time. Kicks wide, deep into the back pocket. Come back. Lowers the eyes, kicks it short, doesn't match the man. Here's the turnover. Wellesby's got hands out the back, high, across the water. Oh, is it going to go out? Lets it go. Bounces. Oh, is it going out or not? So the umpire is saying it bounced on the line. Players let that bounce thinking it was out of bounds on the full. Umpire saying it's bounced on the line, bounced back into play and then was punched out of bounds for a boundary throw-in right next to the right goalpost, deep into the Bombers' forward line. Alfred taps down, off the ground, straight through. Oh my God, no one in the goal square on the line, that close from home. Another point for Brighton. 6-14 to Brighton.
So Sportal scoreboard 6-14-50, plays 4-8-32. Kennedy does the kick-in duties again, gets the 3-iron out, goes out looking for Maxi Alfred, no mark taken, good work there by Draper, just as it off at the last second, and a Lachlan skew-if kick goes out of bounds on the full. And looks like Tommy Washer will do the dishes on this one and kick out from his left back pocket. Switch is on, they do like to switch, they have. So this is the kick that's important now. They've got a couple of plays there. Mark just taken at ground level. Great work there by Washer. Switches it out wide. Have they got something on in the middle? No, straight down the throat of Nigel Osborne. So Osborne's got one deep. Goes in that direction now. Can't take the mark. It's been given the free kick. I think that is Miller. And interesting if Q was the man that gave away the free kick in this heated battle between the pair. But Miller in juxtaposition 101 receives the free kick for, I don't even think he got the arms chopped. I think it was more than the head, if anything. And he will line up for goal number 3, and his first for the second half after adding 2 in the second term. Relatively easy, makes no mistake. And on the Sporters scoreboard, they kick away with their first goal of the second half. 7-14-56 to 4-8-32 on the Sporters scoreboard.
All kudos to Jared Miller, playing in front, standing under that ball for a player coming and just hit him too high. Just a little bit too vicious on the attack on the ball rather than playing the ball and spoiling it. Oh, conditions are fine here. The wind seems to have dropped a little bit. No rain at the moment. Very, very slippery. The ball is slippery. Centre square, we get muddy. But Brighton seem to be just having all the play at the moment with their setup behind the ball and the way they go. Alright, let's see what happens here. Maxi Alfred into the ruck, ball comes down, Draper, picked up by Ferrari. Goes sideways, short kick, finds his man, that's what we want. Looks inward, short again, James Kennedy. Oh no, Maxi Alfred. Turns, looks, that's the kick. Nice long kick inside 50, penetrates, spoil, man on man. Stacks on the mill, umpire giving him time to get it out, that's not going anywhere. The boundary throw up just inside 50 for old Ignatians. Just looking around, it's man on man everywhere we want to go. Scrambled back, lovely kick, Brighton out wide. Oh, good mark. Who's that? James Kennedy? Looks, no. Kicks long again but goes wide this time. Only Brighton players out there, but he fumbles the mark, goes out of bounds.
So off the hands of Benny Tate with the long sleeves this afternoon. Pretty easy to mix up with Plenty, who's also gone the long sleeves. So Ken Oldie sneak one back. Shallow throwing, good work there by Alfred, gets his hands on the pill. And an obscured kick as the tackle was brought down. Well done to Evans. He's been instrumental in that midfield. Bustling his way around the field. Thumping kick, as is the case on this occasion as well. Going up high was Wellesby and Miller. No mark taken. Ball comes to ground. Under immense pressure and duress. Oh, and claimed the mark there. Not paid. Can only think that the umpire got rain in his eye, and I don't think there's much around at the moment. So the ball to be thrown up true centre wing on the far side. Beautiful tap. getting up high there. I'm not sure if that was Draper. Looked like a secondary ruckman going up. And we'll have a repeat. So next goal paramount, as this is 24 points at the margin at the moment. And if it gets beyond 5 goals, it could be curtains for the home side, the Old Iggies. So Alfred, Draper flicks one out the back. Ball comes to ground. Good work there by Will Ferrari. Slams it on the boot, hoping for something to happen inside 50. Not on this occasion. Some good roving. Comes to ground. He just needs to pick it up here. Getting harder to see numbers as they get muddier. And Sigel is the last man on the line of defence, and he takes the mark. So what have we got there? Must have been a 25. Didn't go to the 9. That's the only thing you could think of. Not sure if they even played.
Just didn't come back off the mark quickly enough.
Okay. So Ryan didn't push off the mark quick enough, and Sigel gets to 25. Switches the play, goes out to Jake Plenty. Oh, the umpire's blown his whistle, preempted. So Plenty on his opposite foot, still has the presence of mind, and goes to ground is Draper.
Draper gets the ball, sliding on his back, taking a nice chest mark deep on the half-back flank. Brighton seem to have all the answers at the moment. Kicks along to the wing. Miller a good lead, Cure spoils. And takes the ball out of bounds. Alright, this is a very important part of the game here now. Old Ignatians do need to score and get on the board to keep the game close, or else Brighton will break it open here this quarter. Boundary throw in, deep on the wing. Tap over the back by Warner. Kick by Brighton forward. Over the pack of the pack. Well read by the Iggy's player there. Wellsby off the ground. Here we go. Ignatians. Fortuitous. Straight in the hands of William Nader, but fumbles and slips at the last moment. Kicks it out wide. Good shepherd by the Brighton player. Picked up by Blake Higgins. Kicks it long. Iggy's player in front. Takes both hands to it. Juggles the mark. Got enough mind to go backwards and kick short to Old Ignatians in the back pocket. Again, players are taking off before they've got the ball. Let's get the ball, boys. Drops short again. Okay, hands, and finally a kick out of the clearance and falls fortuitously into the hands of an Ignatius player who looks wide. Kicks out wide, finds another one. He looks, he settles, he's got nothing coming his way, kicks it just up in front of the man in the mark. Brighton player works beautifully, get his body in front, gets the handball away. Good attack on the ball there, all players there. This is off the ground, out of bounds on the fall, although, who kicked it?
I don't know whether the umpire's looking for it sounded like it was in danger, or it was smothered. And if it's smothered, that means it's a throw-in. So Old Iggy's claiming the free kick. And it is a play free to Old Iggy, so the player's about 20 from home. Very, very tight angle. And thankfully the wind has died down, which won't play a factor on the shot on goal. Finds a player, and smart play, goes inboard. And that was the best decision he's made this afternoon.
I reckon that free kick was an Iggy's player socketed off the ground straight into the leg of a Brighton player.
Okay,
and therefore went out of bounds.
Yeah, excellent call. It's very hard to tell who's got the ball, given that the numbers are starting to get a little bit darker with the muddy conditions here at Karen Rolton. And the fact that I need to go and see Specsavers because I can't see that far. So, can they get themselves on the scoreboard? She's just hardly kicked over the jam tin, but she is through. So a timely goal for Old Iggy's and a magnificent start for them to get that one back and reduce the margin. So on the scoreboard, 7-14-56 to 5 goals, 8-38, and the margin's back to 18 points. Get that goal kicker to you very, very shortly.
Tom Scanlon, ball back into the centre, tap down, loose kick out, Brighton player trying to kick it forward, kick that backwards, believe it or not, off the side of his boot. Iggy's player then scrambling, it's back on the half-back flank and no one's had a clean possession yet. Good handball by Jake Plenty over to Blake Higgins. Handballs forward. Oh, good fly. Illingsworth doesn't quite get it. Slippery hands. Oh, good pick up, Warner. Handball over the back. Finlay Bennett well tackled into the ground. Aaron Warner following up again, keeping the ball in front of him beautifully. And again, third follow-up in a row. Tackled to the ground. Ooh. Umpire finally says, give it to me. I'll bounce the ball. 3 really strong plays there by Aaron Warner following that up. Yeah, nice tap. Max Alfrey gets the tap. Unfortunately goes to a Brighton player. Front, keep it in front. Taps it out of bounds. He's given that out of bounds on the full, the umpire. He reckons that came off his foot. Tapped it with his hands and got a little foot to it right at the last moment. He's called it out of bounds on the full. Kick to be taken by Jake Tarker. Right in front of the scoreboard on the 50-metre arc. Deep in the pocket, right hand side. Tarker making out he's having a shot, but he's way too far there, so he will have a shot. Kick it straight to the goal square. Osborne flies huge and takes it, tries the chest mark after he got up that high, but turned his body at the last moment and it slipped out of his hands. I think he's flattened a couple of players in the same time. He's taken out James Kennedy. Free kick paid though. Leading deep in defence.
So umpire's called time off and time back on again. So old Iggy's kicking out from that full back line. Player spools himself, so interesting undisciplined work. Comes out the back to Plenty. Gets a screw punt towards Wellsby. Difficult finger breaking mark to take. High tackle not paid by the umpire. May have paid that ducking into the tackle. A strong tackle by Tarker, who's looking a little bit dangerous for mine. So Wellsby coming off. Interesting to see if it's just a transition or he's under a bit of injury type duress. Good bump there by both players. Comes out towards Tarker. Difficult pick up there, well done. Comes out towards Chump. And a good mark there by Osborne, who looks like he's resting up forward at the moment. Lovely chest mark after a high fly. Probably surprised himself getting up that high before was Nigel Osborne, but strong mark. Got some forward craft. He'll have a shot. Man on the mark's about 25 from home. Bit difficult angle here for a right footer. Seen these go across the face of the goals. And he's just held up with the win and a beautiful left to right for Nigel Osborne. Lovely goal. And on the Sportal scoreboard, 22 minutes down, third term. It's 8:14.62 to 5:8.38. And I think that margin's too far to come back for mine for old Iggy's at the moment.
Well, I wouldn't say it's over yet, but just the way the play's going. Having said that, I was just watching Wellsby when you said came off the bench. He went for that mark, took another clip in the back of the head and immediately came to the bench himself. So he's just a little bit nervous, or a little bit worried about that headache I reckon he's got. Anyway,
just if he's related to the Wellsby that used to play for the Big Red from Sturt.
Yeah. Okay, ball thrown up in the centre. Iggy's need this one now. I think the Brighton Bombers have just got a little bit too much poise in the middle. Handball back across. Good solid look out wide. Beautiful chip kick. Finds Jack Chalmers on the wing. This kick will be important. Decides to kick long and high and wide. Oh, great mark. Aaron Warner, man in front. Love his attitude, love his presence around the ball. Again, 50 out. These boys, the wind has dropped a little bit. I don't think it's flying anywhere.
He can make the distance. He kicked one from out here at Brighton Oval last week.
Swings wide on the left foot. Gave himself that run around. Doesn't quite make the distance. Short into the goal square. Players rushed over by the Iggies. 8 goals, 15.
So right. Bristow to do the kick-in duties. A little bit of sting out of this game at the moment. Needs a bit of firing up. It's only going at about 5 cylinders at the moment. So Bristow goes out wide. Nice mark there on the far side. Got a player on coming from behind the contest and out of position. Some good work there. So the ball comes back inside Brighton's 50 with a little bit more interest. Just gets that one arm out just to deflect the ball to ground level. Osborne with a strong tackle. Nothing being paid there, and almost went the smother, almost went the bump, and ends up tackling there was Jack Chalmers. So caught on the crosshairs of his own thought process. Uncontested ruck throw up, ends up in the hands of that man Osborne again. Ball comes to ground to Warner, dishes one out towards O'Loughlin, can't take it with him. Tell you what, the pressure meter has gone up. We said the Sting have been out of it, well, it's just come back with a little bit more fire. And Jack Chalmers takes one on the chest.
A wall of players standing behind that play there.
Very well structured behind the ball there, Brighton, and deserved of being in this position to have a shot on goal is Chalmers. He's going to take his best effort there with the wet pill. He's going to have to kick just on the paint or just outside from about 51-52. So Chalmers, pretty deliberate approach. Kicks from right on the paint. Has it got the distance? Not quite. And tapped through from behind. Well done by Kennedy on the last line of defence.
Okay, so the shots on goal, many, but they're all from 45-50 out, so at least Iggy's are doing that. Immediate kick in from full-back, goes straight down the middle. Decided that's enough, Iggy's, they're going to take a chance. They're going to have to take some risks to get this done, and at least we've got a dead ball situation in the centre of the ground.
I like that McCarthy, he's fiery customer.
He has a go.
He really has a red hot crack.
Max, over the top, third man up this time. It's gone straight to a Brighton player. They've set up beautifully behind the ball. Iggy's though, take the handball, kick off the side of the boot behind, handball out the back. Decides to bring it inside, Blake Higgins. That's the kick right into the centre, but unfortunately, full forward was well held there. Noah Layden on his left foot, kicks it out wide, but misses his target. Two Brighton players running with the ball. Lowers the eyes, kicks nicely, just over his head unfortunately. Ricky O'Loughlin gathers the ball, tackled around, gets his boot to it quickly. Now Iggy's player, Connor Bristow, beautiful left leg, looks out wide, lowers the eyes and hits Darcy. Darcy looks up, he's got a loose man to looking straight at, so he goes sideways. He goes lateral, hasn't got the distance. Jared Miller jumps in.
So Miller switches the ball.
Wasn't a lot.
Goes towards Illingsworth. Clean hands from Illingsworth. Goes out towards Osborne. Osborne hits the hot spot and a 1-on-4 comes out the back. I think that's that man Bristow. Needed to be kept in here unless there was a slight smother on that ball. Well done there by Rice. Kicked the goal in the first term. Got lined up. And well and truly got split down the middle by Chalmers. Come up nice. Almost a kicking in danger. And it is paid to Broadbent. And that should be 25. So the umpire just losing a bit of control. I think he's got the yellow card out. He has. And the player's sent from the field. And the free kick, I don't know whether the umpire's cotton under it yet, but it needs to come back to Broadbent. No, the umpire has forgotten about the initial free kick to Broadbent, and it's gone to Draper. And the man to be sent from the field there is Hugh Ferrari. So Hugh Ferrari receives a yellow card, comes out towards, beautiful pick up there by Evans. Evans drives it deep into the forward line to that man. Oh, he's played on. Osborne plays on when the siren sounds. And that's proved a little bit costly because that would have been a certain goal on the three-quarter time siren.
I'm not sure about the certain goal. He missed one from 5 yards out.
Well, that one would have been a lot more certain because I think he would have gone back and slotted that. But on the three-quarter time siren on the Sportal scoreboard, it is Brighton 8-16. Pretty inaccurate this afternoon, 64 to Old Iggy's 5-8-38. Let's hope this one finishes as a real close one. We'll be back with all the action after these messages. Welcome back for the final quarter of this round 9 clash between Old Ignatians and Brighton. And on the Sportal scoreboard heading into this last turn, it's 8-16, 64 Brighton and Old Iggy's 5-8-38. Major scorers, Jared Miller with 3 and Thomas Welby with 2 for the Bombers. And singles to Ryan Jones, Kennedy and Rice. We're still missing a goal kicker. Unfortunately, player HQ has not caught up this afternoon with all the 35 games from around the Adelaide Footy League. Big thanks to Filming Footy, Sports Interactive, and this one brought to you by Programs to Fit. So the Programs to Fit round 9 clash. Alfred back up against it against Draper. Well done by Alfred, wins on this occasion. And nice work there off the back flank. So ball comes out towards Wellsby. He's been under a bit of an injury crowd after kicking 2 very early goals in this game. Some strong tackling again at ground level. Umpire looked a little bit skewed as there was a high free kick, not paid, and Illingsworth with some strong tackling. So umpire throw it up right on the 50-metre arc. First goal imperative here for Old Iggies if they're going to get themselves back into this game with a 26-point margin at 3/4 time. 2-5 to 1 goal in that third term. Not his best kickers, it just rolls off the shin literally. Good work there, comes to Benny Tate. Tate goes back out to plenty, has had plenty of it. Nice mark there by O'Loughlin, and I reckon this is the best game I've seen him play of about 4 that I've seen this season. Been injected into the midfield more often this afternoon. Good body work there by Miller. Sorry, it was Illingsworth. Illingsworth goes deep, looking for a strong target. Good work there by Tarker. No mark paid. And after kicking 4 last week, Tarker's been reasonably well held with only 1 on the board thus far this afternoon. So Ruck's go to it. Nice tap there by Warner, playing that pinch hitting second ruck this afternoon. Umpire's found a free kick and it's holding the ball.
Give him a slam tackle.
Slam tackle, there you go.
So Will McCarthy gets the ball, switches it quick to the pocket and unfortunately misses his man, and the Brighton player has jumped in and taken a mark 15 metres out deep into the pocket, but he's just
coach killer.
Absolute coach killer, especially the start of the game here. Can't quite see which player it is, but we'll see after he kicks the goal, or kicks the score should I say. This will be a huge nail in the coffin, unfortunately. Player comes in, drops it smoothly, drifts across for a point. Very lucky let off there for Iggy's. Look, all's not lost here at this stage, but we'll see how we go. Player jumping the fence, get the ball. That's what happens here.
Not very often that 8 goals 17 is the leading scorer in a game. I wouldn't have thought Tim Pillion.
No. James Kennedy going to get the ball. Let's see what happens here. So the players have had time to set up across the whole oval here. We've got a wide spread. Makes his decision, he looks, he's going deep and long to the left hand flank. Brighton player gets his hands to the ball, drops it. Man in front. His player slides, here's the handball out wide. Nations player, another little handball. Okay, here's the kick forward. Got the run of the ball, 3 on 1 there. 3 players for Brighton behind the ball there. Drops the mark, ball hits the ground. Ignatians runs over the ball, over the line with the ball, it's gone out of bounds. These are probably the best conditions we've had for the day right now. The wind has dropped momentarily, the rain has stopped, and we have an eerie glow over the ground. But if Iggies are going to do it, they have to do it early. Okay. Yep, O'Loughlin grabs the ball off the back of the pack, gets tackled, called it early, holding the ball. Alright, here's the opportunity. Nations. Got the play, looking, as there a lead, looks, sits it up, kicks it long and low. 2 players lead for Brighton, knocked the ball forward, punched up in the air, and Brighton are away.
So ball comes out to this broadcast side, and it will be a free kick for last disposal out of bounds, and that recipient will be Anthony Cure. So Cure's been a pretty strong battle with Miller all day. It's gone on to Illingsworth at the moment, so they have switched. Strong mark there with the Bradley Jones, the vice captain. Too far from home, looks to the hot spot, no one really there. And that ball is intercepted with a strong mark there, and that is Finlay Bennett. So Bennett kicked a nice goal in the second term. Going back with the flight of the ball. Goes inboard to Jack Loy. So Jack Loy chips. Goes to Jake Plenty, who's had plenty of it. Plenty's played that goalkeeper's role really well this afternoon. With his Matty Suckling top left boot. Comes out towards Sigel. No marks taken. O'Loughlin ready to pounce. Couldn't take the ball. And Evans comes in late. So hits the hot spot again. Almost mark taken. Ball comes to the ground. Should have been a free kick. And it is paid. So holding on too long. Holding on too long. As I just had a little bit of water stuck in the back of the throat. And I think the free kick is going in favour of Thomas Ryan, who slotted the first one this afternoon for Old Iggies. So no multiple kickers to speak of at the moment. Not much crowd atmosphere at the Cone Rolton.
They need this.
They do. And can they get themselves back into the game? Ball's in the hands of Thomas Ryan. Kicks from relatively straight in front from 20 out, slots it straight through. So a great goal there to Thomas Ryan, who appears to be the only multiple goal kicker that we're aware of for Old Iggies. And brings that margin back. So on the Sportal scoreboard, it's Brighton 8-17. Very ugly scoreline, 65 to 6-8-44. 21 points on the Sportal scoreboard. Can they mount a comeback? That's the $64,000 questions, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, they needed the first goal. That's all there is to it. They had to get the first goal, and they've got it, so there's a chance. That's all there is to it. Best conditions for the day. I think Brighton are just going to be too strong around the ball at this stage, but look, if they're going to do it, they've got to get the next goal now.
Too many winners across the field for mine at this stage, Brighton.
Totally agree. But it comes down to Max Alfred. Jumps well, tries his guts out. So does Dylan Draker. This has been a great duel all day, the two ruckmen. Unbelievable. Draker gets over the top this time, gets it to O'Loughlin. Handball over to Evans. Great work right there. Handball back. Fumble. Iggy's player gets the ball. And giving it a throw with the slinging tackle around, so he just managed to get it. He's been good, Evans. His work rate is fantastic. Kicks the ball wide. Finds a Brighton player. Finlay Bennett. Goes short, finds another player on the wing. Plays on, runs inward, kicks it up high. Iggy's player in front, keeps the ball in front of him. Yep, they're away. Handball. Kicks the ball long and wide. Does this go out? No, he keeps it in front of him. That's a win for Old Ignatians there off hands with the ball going out of bounds on the half forward flank. Not sure
if Broadbent actually wanted to keep that ball in play there. It was smart if he did disguise it. So can Old Iggies get the next goal? Turn this game into some sort of rip snorter. Comes out the back, good kick there by Ferrari on a one-on-one. Some great defending there by Broadbent. Punches the ball out of play. One of the unsung heroes for Brighton is Broadbent. Not high in the possession count, but very honest defender. So good work there by Draper. A little bit clumsy, like the Draper ruckman from Essendon, and the umpire's seen a free kick and he's called it holding the ball. So I thought Evans had disposed of that, and obviously the umpire had a different view, and I think it is Will Ferrari, who would probably have to be the best player for Old Iggies so far in this clash. As Warner comes to the bench, and on goes Miller.
Big kick. Can he make the distance? Will he do this?
Oh, I think he can. So, Will Ferrari. This is to get his side back in a position to mount some sort of comeback. Has he got the distance? Has he got the carry? Umpire says, all clear, right to pay. So, on the Sportal scoreboard, the game is starting to increase in interest and pressure. Brighton 8-17-65, 15-point margin. Old Iggies 7-8-50.
Great kick.
9 minutes down this final term.
Great kick. Leader's kick there. Needed that. Just got over the line, but it had to be there. Now, the next step. So, Ruckman. Max Alfred, this is you. Draper won the last one. I'm telling you, it all comes out of the centre. This is the importance right now. They keep going. One more goal from Brighton, I think that'll be it. So, here we go. Ball up. Alfred. Neutral ball. Tap down. Evans kicks the ball out wide. Playing in front. Well done by the Brighton player. Takes a strong mark. Jack Chalmers. Handball's off. Kick by Nigel Osborne. Deep forward. Defensive mark. Well done. Tom Vanderjeu. He looks. Importantly, slows it down. Lowers the ice, goes small and short. William McCarthy. Runs around. Kicks along. Ball's on the wing. Oh my God, what a fly! That Brighton play, he's got it completely on top of his shoulders and taken the mark on his chest.
So we've had another Bianco mark of the week contender. Ball comes to Draper. Interesting kick, not his best one this afternoon. Kick off the ground there was Maxi Alfred. Probably as good as Draper's kick a little bit earlier. So some Benny Hill music going on in the background here at the Karen Rolton. Slammed off the boot there. Can they get someone in a good position to rove? Comes out to plenty. And there's a free downfield, so that alleviates all pressure on Brighton. And it should come back to Lachlan. So Lachlan right in front of our broadcast here. Ignores plenty. So Lachlan looking for a target. He's got Wellesby down the line. And also Evans launches himself at it. Nice punch by McCarthy. Ball comes to ground. Almost landed in the bread basket there of the Brighton half forward. And did he get a fingertip on it? Umpire's made a call from about 60 metres away.
The right call though. And
I think it's the right call. So Lachlan, left half back. Probably one goal would just about finalise this game this afternoon. And Will Ferrari intercepts again.
Will Ferrari gets the ball, changes inward, takes a good mark. Over to Noah Layden. Switching the ball, opens the play up. Players running all across the ground, which is what they need. He looks, he stops, he makes one, chooses to go the second one. Unfortunately, he went to the player, Jordan Bastion, Brighton, intercepting that mark. He now looks low and hard, and again, intercepted mark. Drops it. Wellesby picks the ball up, kicks it long. Player running back, on the leg, long kick, there you go.
Tarka.
Brighton player takes the mark. Tarka. 35 metres out on a slight angle. This could be the steadier for Brighton.
So Tarka comes across as a player that probably only needs about 8 to 10 possessions to really go into damage control. Kick 4 last week. Can he kick his second?
Had to find out. Very good run up. Sits the ball up. Sliding across the left. All the kicks going that side have slid to the left today. Not many of the players have got it right. So another point. Brighton 8 goals 18. Here we go. Keeping the old Iggies in the game, but they have to keep scoring Iggies. They can't wait till the end. Long kick in. Big play on. Oh, good try. Good try. Okay, so the ball hits the wing. The marking ball goes forward. Brighton player picks up the ball. Tarek Illingsworth bombs it in long and wide. Wellesby, got both hands on the ball, just fumbles it. It is slippery, let's face it.
That's a dangerous tackle.
And gets tackled again into the ball. I think what saved him was he was so low to the ground at that stage, he wasn't standing. So, anyhow, dangerous ball. 20 metres out, straight in front of the Brighton goals. This is going to be critical. Umpire unseen what happened there. Player got a little bit of a smack, got a bit of a head on the... He's injured his ankle, no? What happened there? Anyhow, gets up limping a little bit, bit of a leg tackle. Ball goes up again, here we go. Max punches it wide. Tarka being held on to. He's been really hard checked today. There's Jack. Third try up in a row. Let's see how we go this time. Third man up. Osborne takes the ball, looks back into the centre, kicks it back to the goal square. Drop mark by the Iggies player. Luckily it comes to another one walking past. Kicks the ball clearance. And Carl Hodges tried hard across. Low spearing pass there by Jordan Bastion. Finds.
I think he's found Finlay Bennett.
Runner having a word to Finlay Bennett while he's got the ball. Don't know if you're going to do that, son. Get out of the way.
I think he's got a bit of claret coming from the snout.
Finlay Bennett now. Into the wind. Into what has been the into the wind scoring side. Here we go. Running past. Plenty runs past to the handball. Telegraphed it. Dropped it. Gets it back again. Panic kick forward. Miller in front. Ball knocked down. Clearance. Old Ignatians. 2 on 1. Brighton against Stiggy. Stiggy's player gets it. Handball over the top. Has he got who he got the kick to? No, this is Smother. Brighton player handballs are at. O'Loughlin's got the ball. Kicks long. Wide. Oh my God! Oh my God! Nigel Osborne has jumped. Has got his knees onto the shoulders of the year's player. Put his hands above his head. Got his hands on it. Went straight through and hit the ground from a long way down. That would have been the mark of the year by a long way if he held on to that.
So, however, Kennedy the recipient, and he did have his hands right in the middle of his back. Nice mark there. So Alfred doing some strong work on this broadcast side. Obviously couldn't take the mark. So Brighton have been in control of the pill for about the last 3 minutes, but just no goals. Had some scoreboard pressure and finish off their good work. So Warner could have got a push in the back, not paid. Strong tackling by O'Loughlin. There's a man out the back here, and an easy mark lands on the chest of Broadbent. So the local crowd here, Brighton, that have come down the Anzac Highway, claiming it should have been 50, not paid. Comes out the jar, Sigel thumps it inside 50. No real target there, comes out the back. And the umpire says, I'll have it, boys, as Illingworth comes up with the ball. 45 from home for Brighton. Warner taps down. There's nothing doing. We'll have a secondary ball up. So 16 and a half minutes down. Final turn. Still 16 points on the Sportal scoreboard. Close towards the boundary there was Alfred. Needs to get the ball going the other way. Illingsworth. And tries to hit the top of the square, and a mark is intercepted by the old Iggies on the last line of defence.
Okay, goes short across the goals again. Finds Connor Bristow in the back pocket. Usually a very reliable, good kick. Looking across the ground. Oh, he got tempted, but he decided to stick to the fat side. Beautiful kick by his man. Half back flank. 17-minute mark. Iggies 16. They need 3 goals to win the game, so they've got to get moving. Down the wing. Oh, good mark from behind. Oh, umpire score play on. Set both hands on at the same time. Brighton player. Yeah, moves forward. Osborne kicks it. Tackled after he kicked the ball. Big pack. Right in the full forward line. Illingworth snaps well. And unfortunately misses to the near post by a point again. And that ball's gone flying down the river there. So we'll have a break for 2 seconds. Brighton are peppering the goals, but my goodness me. Kicks on the angles and kicks too far out.
So amazingly, 27 scoring shots to 15, but only a 17-point margin. So you can do the math on that. Okay, 13 extra scoring shots. 12 extra scoring shots, mind you, but only a 17-point margin. So Kennedy to do the kick-in duties. He's been a great leader from defence. Comes out towards Ferrari. Ferrari snaps it on his boot. He's got a player on. They've got one out the back as well. They need to move it quickly. Hodges kicks it on his boot. Goes to the hot spot. Kenny ball just skids along the Karen Rolton turf, and they'll need to lock it in. And they need to get the skates on the scoreboard too, because there's almost 19 minutes down in this final term. Going to have to be 3 real quick goals here to Old Iggies if they're going to rip this one from Brighton's hands.
But that's more like it. That was coast to coast. 1, 2, 3 and a scoring shot. So they've got to take the game on now, Iggies.
They do. So plenty to do the kick-in duties. It's gone the torpedo. Doesn't quite get onto it. Heads out towards Sigel. And this is probably the best game he's just about played all year. Goes to Wellesby. Kicked 2 goals early, but relatively quiet since with a couple of injuries. Comes out the back to Kennedy. Kennedy smashed him from the side. It was a push, but it was in the side. Ball comes to Bristow. Bristow, beautiful kick. Can't hold the mark there with Ferrari. Can they hold it in? Brighton's got the numbers at ground level. Should have been in the back, not paid. I was going to say, don't dare call that holding the ball after not giving the push in the back free kick.
Okay, the ball's on the 50-metre line directly in front for Old Ignatians. This is an attack they have to make the most of. A couple of players up for Brighton. Warner, quick kick, out wide. Wellesby in front. Tackles the ball along, taps the ball along, be rushed out of bounds. Really well played there by Thomas Wellesby. It's the right outcome for the boys as we hit the 20-minute mark of the last quarter. Boundary throw in. Okay. Warner. Tap. Brisbane. Brighton player keeps it in front of him. Follows up with a tackle. Not going anywhere down. Umpire, blow your whistle nice and early. Well done.
No way Scanlon was getting past the Viking.
Okay.
Oh.
Another boundary throw. Another throw up by the umpire in the middle of the ground. The sun's coming out, sneaking out here. Here we go. Maxie Alfred taps the ball down. Warner. Oh, great follow up. Runs through. Can he get through with the hands? Well done by the Iggy's player to keep in front of there. Ducks under. Oh. And tapped out of bounds.
So they have a boundary throw in on the left half forward flank for Brighton. One goal will be enough here to just cover it and put this one to bed for Brighton. Nice tap there by Alfred, hasn't given up the whole game. Flicks one out in the back, heads towards...
Good pressure.
There was some good pressure there. And unfortunately Scanlon just gets rushed over the boundary line. So it'll be interesting to see who gets the Roll of the Dice Media Award for the Player of the Year. I think that man, Nigel Osborne's probably got the 3 locked away. Obviously won't give away a 2-1, which comes on the Adelaide Footy League
good tackle, hands.
Footy show on Monday and Tuesday.
The strength just to stand up for that tackle and still get his hands away then.
22 minutes down, final term. And it's a 16-point buffer. So Draper up against Alfred again. Tapped there by Alfred. Osborne, beautiful body work. Comes out the back to Murphy. Runs his full measure. Should be a free downfield if it's not paid. Goes towards Miller. Can he recover? Left foot snap. Good night, Irene. And that is it. She is all over. Oh,
hang on.
Oh, the umpires are conversing.
No, it's a goal.
And all clear, right to pay. So Murphy slots through his 4th.
Miller.
And sorry, that's Miller. And Jared Miller, 4 goals this afternoon. Has been a standout performer. But great work there by Murphy, and it should have been a free downfield regardless of that result, whether he kicked the goal or not. But the umpire didn't catch on to that one, and that'll probably do the game. And that's 22 points on the Sporters scoreboard.
Yeah, I think that's it now. Great effort there, Jared Miller, 4 goals. But fantastic effort by Ty Murphy there. Knew he was going to get tackled and hit from behind, but rode the kick, did the right thing. Alright, the important thing for me here now is to let the Iggies fight the game out and really see it through and don't just relax. Last 5 minutes of the third quarter, they fell a bit behind. Alfred jumps again beautifully. Osborne bumps through the middle, takes the bump, then kicks it. Players scrambling, hands out wide. Here we go. Looks the little kick, kicks it beautifully into the pocket. Lowered his eyes in rather than blast away. Finds Jared Miller again. Brighton here. Jared Miller lining up for his 5th goal. Confidence should be up here. Now this is the kick all day. They've always drifted to the left-hand side. I wonder if he's been watching that. That's closely what we have been. But this will put the nail in the coffin all over. 24-minute mark of the last quarter. Jared Miller walking in, 20 metres at an angle. Oh, miskicked it completely. Tried to stab at it, keep it low. Miskicked off the inside of his step, hit the chest of a Old Ignatians player, and they've got one last opportunity to run hard, fast down the wing. 3 Brighton players here. and by Dylan Draker, the ruckman that was. Maxi Alfred in the back pocket doing the right thing, getting behind the ball, but just kicked it to his opposing man. He's going to kick it straight back to Maxi Alfred. Wellesby flies, gets both hands to the ball, drops it out wide. Here we go. Justin Evans, hands, tackles well, holds onto him. Hugh Ferrari, hands, gets past, tackle hands, keeps it in. No, didn't keep it in. Crowd are calling out, just went out of bounds. Umpire's giving it this one, so he's going to throw it in right in front of us on the boundary line.
So they have a throw in right in front of our broadcast box. There's more chirping these birds than what's going out on the field at the moment. So throw it in. Alfred just slams it out the back, comes towards Osborne. Geez, he's had a stack of clearances. Goes towards Francis. Francis gives to Higgins. Higgins kicks inside 50. No mark taken. Good punch away there by Kennedy. Been in their top 3 this afternoon for Old Iggy's. I think he's been rewarded with the free kick. So he's kicked the thirsty Camel goal of the year. Kennedy comes out wide looking for Alfred. Ball goes off the back there and comes back to Alfred. So the big man's under a bit of duress. And O'Loughlin gives the free kick down the field. Nothing too untoward. Got a free kick down the field nonetheless. And the hands of Brandon Lord has been reasonably well held. So Lord kicks inside 50, no one home. Good at marking attempt there by Hodges. Spills to ground. Should have been a free kick for in the back. Umpire, has he changed his decision? No, he hasn't. We'll have a ball up. 35 from home for the Old Iggies. Uncontested ruck. Comes out to Tarker. Tarker whacks on his left boot. Comes towards Wellesby and Kennedy. Pushed out of the contest, but final siren has been blown. And this one is done and dusted. And congratulations to the Brighton Bombers, who record a very comfortable victory in the end. 9-19-73 to 7-9-51. And we'll go to the goal kickers for both teams. So Miller with 4. It was a standout forward for both sides this afternoon. Wellesby with 2, kicked 2 of their first 3. Singles to Bennett and Tarker, and Osborne, the accumulator. 4 Old Iggies, Thomas Ryan with 2, Jones with 1, Will Ferrari with 1, and Carl Hodges with 1. Tom Scanlon with 1, and Oscar Rice also with 1. He kicked 1 on the first term. I think this afternoon we can't go too far, but looking at the best player on the ground and for the roll of the dice media award player of the year, I think Nigel Osborne will lock in the 3. Those 2 dates will be announced on the Adelaide Footy Show later in the week. It's been an outstanding performance for Brighton. They've gone back-to-back wins after a nail-biter at home last week against Tea Gully and go home with the points, and they'll drive down the Anzac Highway. Very delighted, Timmy Pillion.
Yeah, I think the scoreboard just flatters Old Ignatians a little bit. Brighton with their 28 scoring shots, 19 points on a day like today. Probably should have won by a few more, but the effort of Old Iggies again, they were in it right up till the last minute there. But a good win by Brighton as it keeps their season alive for possible finals.
Yeah, unlikely when you were looking at it last week. They went into that clash in 8th position, so they'll slowly climb their way up the ladder. And I'm guessing Coach Brett Backwell will be very happy with the performance, probably happier than his own performance in the C grade earlier on as he kicked the Stewie Jew off the park. But big thanks to Will Laws on camera and to Timmy Pillion for his first official game behind the mic. I'm Matty Gale, looking forward to joining you around the grounds next week for the Adelaide Footy League for whatever round 10 clash we're at. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.